folks, you're looking at a stand of fully matured Reid's yellow dent corn. It's been a long while since I've done an update on the old corn patch. We've had a lot of rain this summer. Now, I haven't been able to get in here and really get some good footage, and we've had about a week and a half, 2 weeks of dry weather, and I've been busy mowing hay. So I thought I'd get over here today and let you know what's going on with this. I just picked the ear right here of the corn. It's starting to dry out just a little. It'd make good silage right now. This ear is not very big. The ground's kind of poor down here on this end of the patch. But I've got some more footage I want to get down here on the other end and let you see what has happened to the corn. Had something that I kind of expected would happen where I've got this planted. I didn't want it to happen. There's really nothing I can do to prevent it. So I'm gonna go over here and get a better shot of what I'm talking about. This is it. This is what happens when you plant a field of corn that's surrounded by woods and a great big old patch of brush, and those bushes are autumn olive bushes, which bears love. And here is corn, which bears also love. This bear, or bears, I'm assuming it was one bear at the rate that the corn was being demolished. He ate about half of my patch here. My patch is about a half an acre, so this bear ate close. I mean, he didn't flatten it all out, but he ate close, probably to a quarter of an acre of my corn. And I'm sure there was some help from some raccoons and squirrels and whatnot, maybe deer. But in July, right before this stuff was setting on ears, just about a week before it started tasseling, we had a bad storm come through here, and it laid part of this down. Well, it wasn't long after it laid some of this down in here, the wind had blown it over. The bear found it, and the bear just started working his way from that end of the patch all the way up through here. And right here is about where he stopped, because that corn down through there, most of that's standing. There's some along the outside edge that he got at, but this is the worst of the damage. So anyway, aside from that, I came through here in August, probably the first or second week of August, I don't remember exactly, and I sowed crimson clover just with a broadcast seeder, and you can see it's doing very well. It needs some fertilizer, looks like, but really no need for me to get in here and try to spread fertilizer on this. But the clover done what I wanted it to do, make, you know, a little bit of greenery under the corn as a ground cover, so that way this fall when the corn dies back, there'll be a nice green little patch of clover in the understory of the corn. And then next spring, when that stuff gets up ankle deep, or however deep it gets, and starts blooming, I'll plow that under for my green manure cover crop, along with the corn stalks, which will add a lot of organic matter back to the ground. Now, next year I was planning on planting iron and clay cowpeas in here to rotate the corn, and I probably will do that still yet. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to keep the deer out of them if I can, because the other place where I had my cowpeas planted this year, the deer really went to work on them. I kept the weeds down for a while, then as you know, as summer progresses, the weeds get worse, and the weeds kind of took it over. So I ended up just mowing all that off. And I'm going to plant crimson clover over there within the next week. So my my plan with this, obviously corn isn't going to work in the location that I've got this. I'm probably going to start planting wildlife grain sorghum, be the name of it. I have a small patch of that planted right now. So that will be my grain crop that I will plant in here, specifically for deer, turkeys, quail, whatever wildlife may be that'll eat that, but it'll benefit something more than grass. Now this, yes, I was going to use for my livestock. I have cows and I have chickens, and I'm going to plant this in another place, but I just can't plant that in this field due to the bear. I can plant the corn over at my farm where I can watch it a little closer and maybe keep the bear scared away. But overall view of the corn here, it done exactly what it was supposed to do. I'm really pleased with how the corn turned out. My little fertilize slash disc killer machine worked well in this. I just mainly wanted to use that to see if I could keep the weed pressure down in the corn, and it worked great. I kept the corn cultivated, then used the disc killer to throw dirt to the corn and fertilize. You seen in the fertilizing video. That worked well. I was really glad how that worked. And it really helped the corn. The corn, it done just what I wanted it to do. So if the squirrels and the raccoons and bear and deer or whatnot don't completely demolish what's left of the corn, I'll do a video on it when it's completely dried, and hopefully in here picking some of this to use on the farm. I don't know if it will. It just all depends on what happens to it with the wildlife. So anyway, this is a September update on the Reid's yellow dent corn here at Hightree Valley Farm. Thanks for watching.